Hello guys, Greg back with another video on the channel. It is all killer no filler. So the fragrance that I'm reviewing today is it's actually one of the ones that inspired me to start doing fragrance reviews again. I'm very rarely wowed by anything these days. I think it's a combination of having smelt so many fragrances, along with all of the new releases being pretty bland, pretty samey, not very adventurous, even from the niche houses that you'd expect a bit more creativity from. So the fragrance we're looking at today is from the French house of Ex Nihilo, and this one is called French Affair. Now, this 100ml bottle retails for £260. The 50ml bottle is £180. Perfumer on this one is Quentin Bish. He's worked with pretty much, well, loads of brands in the last sort of 15 years. Great perfumer, one of the most prolific perfumers actually at the moment. Very quick look at the presentation. So we've got this outer here, which houses obviously a cardboard box which is coated in velvet, and this is a brand new bottle. I've just finished a bottle of this, which, considering how many perfumes I've got, shows that I do use this one. So inside you've got the bottle, and this is a very thick glass, really high quality, and a metal cap. Now, I never get too excited about the presentation. You can't wear the bottle or the box, but it's nice. So on to the important part, what do you get from this fragrance? I'll talk about the listed notes to start with. At the top we've got bergamot, lychee and violet leaf absolute. Excuse me. In the heart we've got rose absolute, atlas cedarwood and angelica. And in the base we've got patchouli, vetiver and oak moss. Now, I think French Affair is a great name for this one because this oozes sophisticated classic French perfumery. It's like a real nod to those sort of 60s and 70s chypres. Completely unisex in my opinion. Strange juxtaposition with this one of that it's both damp and dry at different stages. I know that sounds a bit odd, but the fragrance, try to explain it. There's times when it's dry and dusty, but there's stages when it's got a damp mossiness to it, and then it reverts back to being dry, dusty and powdery again. Hopefully if you've tried this, you'll know what I mean, or if you do get a chance to try it, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying. So it starts out with kind of a subtle freshness, a very slight fruity sweetness from the bergamot and the lychee. It's definitely not a sweet fragrance at all. This is just a very light effect right at the very top. It's short and fleeting because the fragrance progresses very quickly. And the magic in this one comes from a combination of vetiver, oak moss and rose. And they're blended together and crafted superbly. I'm not a huge fan of rose in perfumes. And although this one does have a lot of rose, it doesn't protrude as a standalone note. It's more blended with the other notes, and it creates a fantastic, deep, rich, classy scent. Now, the oak moss in here is what I believe gives it that contrast of dampness that I mentioned. And there's a large dose of angelica in here, which has got some additional green sort of damp, rooty earthiness to it, and that works really well with the earthy vetiver that's in here. There's some light woods in here. That are coming to the sort of mid and the base, and when I say light, I mean as in the colour of the wood, not the strength of the smell. So light cedar type of woods. I always like to try and give a sort of sense and feeling of the fragrance as much as you can, with words. And I'll say this is one of them fragrances that really transports me to another place. And trying not to sound like hyperbole, when you wear this, you can close your eyes and almost feel like you're in the cafes and bars in Paris. With well-dressed, classy people, the combination of beautiful perfumes in the air. Some words that I'd use to describe this one. I've already mentioned that the composition's got, a dry, dusty and powdery feel, as well as the contradiction of being damp in stages. But in terms of other characteristics, I'd say it's alluring, it's intriguing, it's classy, sophisticated and seductive. It's the type of fragrance that really draws you to somebody. I mean, if I smelt this on somebody, I'd want to go up and ask them what they're wearing, and I don't feel like that very often these days. In terms of occasions, for me, this is 100% a dress-up fragrance. I'd never wear this casually, if I was going to the shops or something like that. For me, this is an evening scent for like the restaurants or theatre. It's going to give you a feeling of class and sophistication, even if, like me, you don't actually have any of those things, I'm not one to pigeonhole fragrances into occasions and seasons and times of day and things like that, but for me this is 100% dressed up evening scent. Performance-wise, performance is very good. Strong projection and CRs throughout the 8 to 12 hours that the fragrance is detectable to people around you. You're going to detect it on your skin a lot longer than that. You can probably enjoy the late stages of the dry down even the next day. If I was going to rate this one, taking everything into consideration, I'd give this a 9.5 out of 10. If you haven't tried it, highly recommend you do. If you're in the UK, you can sample this one at fragrancesamplesuk.com. Link in the description below for that. So there you go, guys. That's my review of French Affair by ex Nihilo. Thanks ever so much for watching. Please give us a thumbs up, hit the notification bell. Leave a comment with your thoughts on this one if you've tried it. Thanks again, guys. See you all very soon. Bye.